How many of you remember this?
Judge, Mr. Sharp can get in and have our evidence excluded every day that he makes an objection at midnight, and then comes in and says,
well, then you all should have gotten your stuff together before then. Summon our juries, please. Summon our juries. Have a seat, madam. Have a seat. You better exclude that, and next time, make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're prepared next time. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm just not. We are starting right now. It's 1:20. So
we have talked to them. We have said we don't agree.
Then file a motion and get it before me, and we'll take it up. Both of you all have equally responsibility to do that. Oh, it's going to be inadmissible right now.
I'm saying, Judge, that you said to file a motion. There's nothing.
I'm not going to have any more discussion about this, madam. I'm not. I don't. Well, you know what?
And I attempted to try to talk to them earlier this week.
Well, then that's why we have to.
So the court punishes the state because the defense.
I'm not punishing anybody, but but prior preparation prevents poor performance.
Be prepared, Judge. That's why I sent them what I sent them last week, a whole week and a half ago, 2 weeks.
I'm not. Well.
And I have asked. I have said I would like to discuss.
Our jury's coming in, madam. Our jury's coming in. Have a seat.
Oh my goodness. That was Judge Suge Knight Glanville months ago before he was removed from this ongoing, overbearing, sham trial, longest in history of Fulton County YSL RICO Young Thug case that Cash Money G, Fani Willis, and her office have launched, and it has wasted millions of dollars, tax-paying dollars, resources, and God knows what else. And that was Deputy District Attorney, yes, Adrienne Love, who was accused by Judge Suge Knight Glanville as being poorly prepared, unorganized, and did not submit a motion on time as he dictated under his terms and conditions. Never mind the fact of the ugly scene time after time again. I mean, when you watch that, can you actually fathom, this is really, really like serious, that's an actual court of law in the United States of America, that is an actual deputy DA. She is the number 2 person in Cash Money G, who is the district attorney of Fulton County in Atlanta, in Georgia. She's the number 2 there. And she's talking like that to a judge. I couldn't imagine somebody other than her getting away with talking like that to a judge. Somehow she's kept her job. Somehow through every single entanglement, folly, error, prosecutorial misconduct, and the like, and more, she's kept her job. This, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans, is another consequence of DEI. Didn't earn it. She has demonstrated time and time again she has zero legal acumen. She does not know what she's doing. She has no business being in a court of law. She has produced time and time ethical violations, decorum violations. She's absolutely wasted time and resources of the court, of the taxpayers of Fulton County over and over again through her mistake after. I mean, these are like mistakes that even like an intern, a paralegal wouldn't make. And she's the number 2 person in Fulton County DA's office next to Fani Willis. This is what I mean when I say DEI kills. It is a catastrophe. It is a cancer. And guess what? It just happened again. Somebody who I think has displayed unbelievable patience, unbelievable tolerance throughout her tenure as now the 3rd judge in this costly, unbelievably unjustified trial against Young Thug and others. She now has had it up to here with Adrienne Love, the deputy district attorney. Watch this clip right here of Judge Whitaker absolutely at her wit's end, losing it on the same exact DEI hire, prosecutor, deputy DA, Adrienne Love. Watch this.
Well, mistrial is appropriate, and I'm asking.
I can't figure out what it is
if it's disingenuous, if it is that, I mean, I don't want to malign the prosecutor standing in front of me right now, so I'm not going to say the possible things that it could be, but it is baffling to me that somebody with the number of years of experience that you have, time after time after time, continues to seemingly purposefully hide the ball to the extent you possibly can for as long as you possibly can. And I really don't want to believe that it is purposeful, but honestly, after a certain number of times, you start to wonder how it could be anything but that, unless it is just that you are so unorganized that you are throwing this case together as you try it. And I am sorry to say that, but this case is being made much more difficult for everybody because of the haphazard way in which it is being presented. I'm going to take a recess for a few minutes. I'll have a ruling when I get back.
Wow! Wow! Oh my God. I mean, this has been a woman who I feel has exercised severe restraint and constraint throughout this entire, basically rehashing and cross-examining, Kenneth Copeland, aka Little Woody, and others. I mean, this trial has been a disaster. Adrienne Love has no business whatsoever being in a court of law. This is the frustration of millions of Americans over these woke DEI ideologies that produce this exact person who has no business doing law, who is purely picked through nepotism, through her gender, through her race, through her color, period. She has absolutely no skills. I've been watching this trial forever. She has been at the apex of every unmitigated disaster in this entire case. And there's no way she would not be disbarred if this was the America that I grew up in. There's no way she would be allowed to set foot, to breathe a molecule inside a courtroom if this was the America that I grew up in. You can tell that she was visibly, choking up with frustration, choking up with just utter dismay and disappointment. Almost like to the point of she's at her wit's end. She's almost sounded like she was very emotional, almost about to cry, because it's just so unbearable when you're literally watching a train wreck in front of you and every fiber of your being is screaming, this is an unmitigated train wreck and it needs to stop. It should have stopped. It's a waste of my time, the court's time, the people's money. It's all in her beautiful, eloquent speech. And then she has to take a recess because she knows quite wisely, I give her much credit, Judge Whitaker, she stays on the bench in this minute, in this present moment, she's going to say some other things that she may regret. So she takes a recess. So a little bit of context here. This reprimand occurred after dispute over hearsay evidence in an exhibit Love tried to introduce through a witness. Time and time again, just like with the clip I showed you with Judge Glanville, time and time again, she tries these sneaky, slick, sleek, snaky maneuverings because she has no clue what she's doing. Again, she has zero legal acumen, and everything she does is not in accordance with the statutes and laws and the bar, quite frankly, of being a qualified attorney in the state of Georgia. Like, not even close. Same thing with Cash Money G. Willis and her entire office, as our whistleblower, Amanda Timpson, if you haven't seen that interview, go see that, has said. Young Thug's attorney, Keith Adams, raised an objection and asked for the jury to be excused to raise a motion for a mistrial. After the jury left the courtroom, Whitaker, that's when Whitaker honed in on Love, and she said her thing. Whitaker took a short recess before returning and denying the mistrial motion. Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele, brought up the fact, quite aptly, quite astutely, and appropriately, that this has been an ongoing issue way before Whitaker took over the case. If you remember Brian Steele saying, I've never, ever been involved in a case where I can't even look at the other side. I can't even talk to her. I can't even pitch. I can't do anything as far as interacting with the other side. He says it's never happened because she's such an egregious transgression on the court, like 100%. Whitaker said she doesn't think Love is trying to get mistrial so she can try the case again, something she might not be able to do anyway. However, Whitaker said she hopes it's nothing more than just quote unquote poor lawyering on behalf of the state. Earlier in the day, Whitaker warned Love about making sure that she disclosed stuff to the court and defense attorneys ahead of time after new discovery appears to have been shared with attorneys this morning. Can you do that from now on without having to beg you to do that? Whitaker asked Love about telling them stuff beforehand. Your Honor, the court does not have to beg me for anything, Love replied. Oh, God, somebody just please put us all out of our misery. Since taking over the case, Whitaker has become frustrated over the state's handling of the case and unnecessary delays. You're not alone, Judge Whitaker. We're all with you. That have made the trial the longest in Georgia history. By the way, I am taking these from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. It is expected to continue into next year as the state has around 100 witnesses left to call to the stand. It's almost as if Whitaker's words are prophecy. She's doing this all on purpose. It's almost as if keep this in the limelight, keep this in the spotlight, waste millions and millions of dollars of taxpayers' hard-earned money funding this debacle so that, I don't know, Cash Money G can stay in the limelight so she can keep the notoriety, so she can stay relevant, because it just seems abundantly clear this case is never, ever, ever going to end. And when it does, let's just say the state actually wins, which is, so unlikely given the amount of unreal prosecutorial misconduct and more that they have committed. It's going to go to an appeal. An appeals court's going to look at this and be like, this is a train wreck, and be like, there's no way. Case dismissed. Cash Money G Fani Willis should be dismissed. Adrienne Love should be dismissed. She has butted heads repeatedly with Love, at one point requiring her and other prosecutors to undergo training on the importance of sharing evidence. Can you believe this? We live in such a woke DEI world. Instead of ending this madness, instead of saving the poor Fulton County residents who are the real victims in all of this, and just absolutely declaring and ruling this a mistrial, she treats them like toddlers, like the DEI incompetent toddlers that they are. They have to take a training program on the importance of sharing evidence with defense attorneys and other professional obligations. It's so shocking to me that this case is still going on. It is more than shocking to me that these are the people who are trying this case. I feel so awful for the defendant, Young Thug, and others, Little Woody, everybody. I feel bad for the actual attorneys who belong there and actually have ethos, like Brian Steele and others. I feel bad for this judge, even though, I don't know, I feel like she might be forced to continue this. She's not, maybe not forced to continue this, she's not allowed to rule this a mistrial. You can almost feel every fiber in her being is screaming, this is a mistrial, this is a mistrial. But she can't, for some reason, rule this as a mistrial, and I'm not sure why. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. I can't wait to read your comments. If you're somebody who is in the practice of law or an attorney or what have you in some capacity, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. We plan on having Ashley Merchant back on the show and others, and also the Pitbull Sadao. So make sure you follow, subscribe, sign up for our free newsletter. That's in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. It is your sure-proof way of never, ever missing out. It's literally free. You just sign up, click on that link, and then give us your best email, and bada boom, you're in. I can't wait to read your comments. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Follow, subscribe over there. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless America. I'll see you soon.